You're on a plane, 30,000 feet in the air. Everything seems normal, until you realize something terrifying. The pilot is missing. No announcement. No turbulence. Just, gone. The cockpit door is wide open. The seat empty. And the controls unmanned. The plane is still flying. But no one is in charge. What would you do? Ethan adjusted his seatbelt and glanced at his watch. It was a late-night flight, and most passengers were either dozing off or lost in their phones. Everything was perfectly normal, until it wasn't. A flight attendant rushed past him, her face pale, her hands trembling as she whispered urgently into a radio. Something was wrong. The murmurs started small, but soon, panic spread like wildfire. A man in business class stood up, his voice shaking. "Where's the pilot?" The question sent a chill down Ethan's spine. The cockpit door was ajar, something that should never happen mid-flight. A few passengers gathered near the front, peering inside. Then came the collective gasp. Ethan pushed his way through and stopped cold. The cockpit was empty, both seats vacant. The plane was still flying, but no one was flying it. The co-pilot, the captain, even the emergency pilot, gone. Vanished. No alarms, no distress signals. The flight attendant, barely holding it together, stammered, "We're trying to reach ground control, but there's no response." No response? Ethan's mind raced. That was impossible. Was this a hijacking, a paranormal event, or something even worse? A young woman broke down in tears. A father clutched his son. Ethan took a deep breath and moved towards the controls. He wasn't a pilot, but he had played enough flight simulators to know the basics. As he reached for the radio, the plane suddenly jerked hard to the left. People screamed as luggage tumbled from overhead bins. The aircraft was moving on its own. That's when Ethan saw it. The altitude indicator was dropping, fast. They were descending, but not in a controlled landing. It was as if something else had taken over. The screens flickered, and a chilling voice crackled through the intercom. "Remain seated. You are not in control." Ethan's blood ran cold. He turned to the others, his voice barely above a whisper. "If we're not in control, then who is?" The plane kept descending, faster, and the ground was getting closer. Now, here's the real question. If you were on that flight, what would you do? Would you try to take control of the plane? Or would you sit back and hope for the best? And most importantly, where did the pilots go? Let me know in the comments.